Hello and welcome to interest.co.nz. I'm Gareth Vaughan with another of our double shot interviews, and I'm joined by Simon Pomeroy, who's the Chief Digital Officer at Westpac. Thanks for your time, Simon. Look, Westpac has got this stated aim of being New Zealand's best digital bank this year and then becoming the world's best digital bank next year. Very ambitious sounding goal. Some of your rivals are pouring a little bit of scepticism on and saying, oh, this is all a PR stunt. Is it that, or is there more to it than that?
Oh, look, if you look at the change in customer behaviour and the trends in customer behaviour, particularly around the adoption of new technology, this is not a PR stunt. For us, we looked at the change in customers, particularly towards mobile banking around 2 years ago. And for us, it was more around where do we want to be? It was really a case of saying, how do we want to drive digital banking, but integrate it into the whole of our banking experience? And so Peter Clare came on board just under 2 years ago and really set the challenge to us to say, if this is where our customers are and want to be, how do we drive this change through the bank? And so we've set ourselves out to say that we want to be the best digital bank in New Zealand by the end of this year and the best digital bank in the world by the end of 2015, and I think we're well on the way to achieving that.
So how do you measure whether you reach these goals, and who do you need to overtake to get there, both within New Zealand and globally?
Well, I think ultimately customers, our customers will tell us that we are the best digital bank in New Zealand and the best digital bank in the world. I think if I look back at the challenge that we set out again 2 years ago, it was really a case of saying, at the heart of it, internet banking, looking at internet banking and saying, why don't we have an online banking platform that gives customers the ability to do all their banking online? And then the second question was, if customers can do all their banking online, why can't they do it through any device? So whether it's a mobile phone, a tablet or a PC. And a major proof point for us on this strategy is that we have delivered a new online banking experience, which we have around 30,000 of our customers on at the moment, which we will roll out to all customers by the end of August. And that capability means that we will give our customers the ability to do 90% of the things that they can do in a branch today online by August this year. And that to me is a major proof point as to why we will be the best digital bank in New Zealand.
Now, one of the key things with banking as it moves online and digitalises, as with every other industry, is revenue, and where do you generate that from? Obviously, one of the things that people are using mobile banking apps for a lot now is just to check their balances, which is obviously not going to be a big revenue driver for banks. So where do you see the key revenue opportunities?
So look, we bought out Cashtank about 18 months ago, and Cashtank is now used 40 million times a year. To answer that question, what's my balance? But to me, digital banking is not about apps per se. It's actually about how do you think about digital to both extend the services that can be achieved today in banking, but also to further deepen and strengthen your customer relationships. And so for us, we've got sort of, I think, 4 key pillars to our digital strategy, which will drive a significant revenue to the bank by achieving those. The first, as I mentioned before, is to really deliver an online banking capability that allows customers to be able to activate and apply for all the services they can through the branch today online. The second is to make it faster and easier for customers to be able to do their banking through whichever channel they choose to use. So whether that's a digital channel or a human channel or a mixture of both. And then I think the third thing is better recognising customers as individuals and really understanding their needs far greater and then delivering to those needs. And then the fourth one is obviously taking feedback and acting on that feedback. And I think that if you can achieve that, and we're certainly on the way to achieving that, then better ability to serve, understand and manage customers will drive revenue to the bank, both through digital channels on their own, but also as a mixture of customers using digital channels and human channels together.
Can you share with us any of how you're gauging the success of the revenue you're getting through digital?
Yeah, look, I'll give you an example around home lending. So about 18 months ago, we put the ability for customers to apply for and get a decision on a home loan online. And within the last 18 months, that's now driving about 15% of total applications that we get for home lending. Now that in itself is a big achievement in the space of 18 months, but when I look at those numbers, 40% of those customers are what we call new to bank. So they're customers that aren't Westpac customers today. And so your ability to be able to manage and deepen existing relationships and bring new customers to the bank through online channels will create a significant revenue stream. It is creating a significant revenue stream to the bank today. I think the other point to really talk about is, again, customers are using online channels to do more and more research. We know that as a market, a number of customers will use the website to research the financial products they're looking for, and then they may walk into a branch or they may call the call centre. One of the key things that we're doing is tracking that behaviour so we can see where that customer came from. So we know that that customer came through the website in the first place. But we're then also able to make the experience easier for those customers who want to speak to human beings. So we've integrated web chat into our website, and we're about to launch video chat. So it means that customers won't necessarily have to go into a branch or queue to speak to a customer agent through the contact centre. They can do everything through that online channel when they're in that session.
You're also promoting smartwatches and Google Glass wearables like those. Just interested in how significant do you think they can be for Westpac, and what sort of uptake do you hope to get out of your customers from them?
Yeah, look, wearable technology, whether it's a smartwatch, whether it's Google Glass, for us is about extending the capability of internet banking. And so these applications will make it even faster and even easier for customers to do everyday tasks. So what's my balance, get alerts and notifications around, tell me when my account hits a certain level, or could be move money from one account to another. So those are the types of applications we've been developing in wearable technology to date. And the feedback we're getting from staff and from customers who have used those gives us assurance and reassurance that these are making what they're looking to do even easier. I think the thing for the adoption will be when this technology has become more mainstream. And I was in the States 2 weeks ago, and we spent some time with the likes of Google, Apple, PayPal, eBay. They're spending a lot of time and investment on wearable technology, and that gives me confidence that when these technologies hit the market over the next 12 to 18 months, customers will adopt them. And so for us, what we want is that we want Westpac customers who choose to adopt these technologies to have, again, some of the first experiences of these in the world, and we want to continue to enhance our capability using wearable technology to make sure, again, that the experience Westpac customers get is the best experience in New Zealand, if not globally.
Now, we're hearing a lot these days about data mining and personalisation of services, not just in banking, but other industries, but we'll obviously focus primarily on banking. What can we expect from Westpac in that sort of space?
Well, as a key part of our strategy has been around how do we create a more personalised and individual banking experience for our customers, regardless of which channels they're using. And we developed a strategy around 12 months ago called Symphony. And we call it Symphony because it exactly does what Symphony suggests it does. It brings together the whole channel experience. So whether you're using digital channels or human channels, it really starts to understand what your channel preference is. It also starts thinking about how you want to be managed as a customer. It also starts looking at your needs as a customer, and we can then better service to you as an individual and develop a way of making sure that we can tailor products and services to you. And so that's really been a key strategy for us. And we now can basically have conversations with every single customer that are very individual, very tailored, and also we can respond to customers in near real time, triaging digital conversations to human channels and sometimes human conversations to digital channels. I'll give you a proof point. In 2012, we spoke to around 50% of our customers proactively in 2012. Last year, through Symphony and the customer engagement strategy, using data and analytics, we spoke to more than 85% of customers. And this year, we'll speak to more than 95% of customers. And these aren't just generic conversations. These are tailored conversations that are one-to-one, that truly understand what the customer relationship is with the bank and how we can better serve that.
And these conversations, they could be phone calls, emails, text messages. any of those?
We've actually linked the strategy through all our channels. So it's linked through all of our human channels. So when you present yourself into a branch or when you call the contact centre, they have a dashboard that can give them a single view of your relationship with the bank. Equally, we're now having conversations with customers via email, through text, through the ATM machine, but principally through online banking. And we see online banking being the heart of where customers are interacting. We see more traffic through our online site in a day than we see in the contact centre in a month and in the busiest branch in a year. So online banking for us is a key cornerstone of where customers will be managed.
Now, one of the questions that always comes up when we discuss data mining is I guess privacy, and also in terms of where you draw the line in terms of, are we overstepping, are we badgering customers too much, trying to cross-sell to them? So where do you draw the line on those issues?
So we use our data strategy or our smart data strategy to enhance relationships. And so we have strict rules around how we contact customers. We contact customers that opt in for communication. But we really use it to enhance the experience, not to do anything that would do anything to the opposite. So for us, we're seeing all our measures around customer experience go up using this strategy. Our NPS score as a bank, or our Net Promoter Score as a bank, is going up as a result of this strategy. We see this being really important around feedback. One of the key things that we want to drive is this two-way dialogue where customers can give us feedback at any time and make that feedback really easy, not just to be able to give us the feedback, but also for us to be able to respond to it. And so a key part of our strategy is taking customer feedback, talking to customers at all times, and then acting on that. And this really plays a key part in that.
And you're also looking at biometrics. Can you tell us what you're looking to do there?
So very early days on biometrics. We see that, for example, in the last release of the iPhone, your ability to be able to access the phone with a thumb. We see through Google Glass the ease customers feel being able to use voice commands to tell the glass the actions that they want to perform. And so for us, we're really thinking about how do we continue to enhance the customer experience through biometrics, whether it's easier, faster ways to do everyday tasks, or it could be the ability to give voice commands to do online banking.
So do you think this could be a good thing to use for security options? Primarily security options?
I think security is one part, and there's no doubt that biometrics can give enhanced security for customers. I think for us, we'll look at a whole range of the ways we use biometrics over the next 6 months, and we'll start doing proof of concepts and prototyping like we've done for Google Glass, iBeacons, smartwatches, and then we'll work with customers to see how comfortable they are in using the technology and how they'll adopt the technology. And that really will shape what we do in this space.
Anything else you can tell us in terms of areas you might look to use it?
Not at this stage. I think we're in early stages of biometrics in particular. But I think, again, if our strategy, to go alongside our strategy, it is about faster, easier ways to bank. And so that's a key part of how we're looking at biometrics at this stage.
Now, you also launched a couple of new apps towards the end of last year. One was called Get Feedback, which was aimed at SMEs. Interested to hear how that one is going and what else you might have in mind for business customers.
Yeah, okay. So Get Feedback really was an extension of Get Online. So 2 years ago we went out to our customers, our business customers who didn't have a website, and got them online. And we grew the number of customers online in New Zealand full stop by about 5%. Through that strategy. Get Feedback really was designed to help customers, our business customers, understand what their customers were thinking about them. And so if you think about when you go into a shop or a cafe or a restaurant and you have an experience, Get Feedback allows that shop, cafe, restaurant to be able to then ask you how was that experience and also manage that experience for you. So it really helps small businesses understand what their customers think and manage that customer experience, ultimately to get repeat custom. And we've got some great examples of businesses that are using it where their customers have rated them very highly, put recommendations on things like TripAdvisor as a result of Get Feedback, because it allows you to post onto social media. And now they've got those those businesses in front of 250 million unique viewers on TripAdvisor alone. So Get Feedback has had really good pickup from New Zealand Retailers Association, and we've got a growing number of businesses using it. The great thing.
Can you give us an idea of ballpark figure, how many?
We're into the hundreds at the moment. And the thing about Get Feedback is it's also opening up conversations with a whole range of partners around how we develop more services and more solutions that you wouldn't typically think were banking solutions, but they will ultimately drive success for our business customers.
Thanks a lot for that, Simon. That's Simon Pomeroy, who's the Chief Digital Officer at Westpac, and I'm Gareth Vaughan at interest.co.nz.